What up, what up? Figured I was out on the move, so I figured I'd come up here. And we're gonna talk about it today, not too long, but the afternoon convo about, I've heard multiple times today, and I don't disagree with people, but I heard multiple times in the last couple months, when I go play, even when I was doing shows, I had a lot of people in different places like, bro, don't stop doing your combos. And I was kind of iffy about it, like, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Hold on, y'all, let me tag some people. I don't know. But it was because all of the back and forth and shit, like, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes you can have great intentions, but where things go and how frustrating it can be and how hard it is to even try to speak or get things done, right? It could be a bit discouraging just from all of the controversy and the turmoil. But I've heard from a few people, you know what I'm saying, that some people felt like that, you know, I attacked certain people when I was on live, not attack them, but would get their people say certain things and then I would go at it. And so, you know, an older dude would tell me, well, everybody in a room, like when we doing this, let's say it's a chat with like 50 to 100 people or 200 people. It's like groups of minds. Let's say it's 4 types of minds in the building. Everybody that's think like this gonna agree with this. So if I attack that person, I'm attacking everybody with that logic. But I will say that I wanted to talk about this conversation because I think that some of it is misunderstanding and some of it is accountability on all parts, not just mine, right? I had conversations that kind of was such a rarity that when I was having these conversations, the fact that these conversations was being had last year about history, law, relationships, love, it caused a lot of pushback because people in our own personal accounts and experiences, that's what we'll bring to it. And that's what we'll do naturally, even if we don't mean to, right? So if I'm talking about relationships or, for example, and I start saying, and I'm speaking about how black men do this and I'm getting down on them, or how black women with this situation, how I'm viewing it and what I'm using as my comparisons or what message am I trying to get across, right? That's how I always looked at it. I never came live just blindly just to speak, you know what I'm saying, just so people could see my face. But I honestly would say attacking people, no. I've been in situations where I say misunderstanding. I've been on lives where people done cussed me out. People done told me that, yo, that I'm crazy, I'm stupid, you know what I'm saying? My opinion, I think too much, da da da, you know what I'm saying? Insults. So sometimes even me being a person that speaks at the same time I'm a person, right? So I see how me being live, I watch multiple people actually personally try to attack me or do certain things at times where it take a lot to be out here in front of a lot of people and to put yourself on Front Street like I have, right? But unlike that, I think another thing too is that sometimes I felt like, just being honest, that like some of the shit that I bring to the table, like coming wholeheartedly, but really going deaf ears and be unappreciated, right? Because I don't know a lot of people in America or any country where it's a black man getting up every morning who don't get paid for this shit and come up here and really, really be like super passionate about the conversations. And I hear things, that's why I say I can't just brush them off and say, oh, everybody wrong. Nah, I gotta take accountability on some of it too. But it's like when I talk to some of my family, I've heard it before. So it's like, you know, everybody don't have to agree with you. Or your point of view ain't the only point of view. And that was never my intent of these conversations, right? But when we speaking about historical facts and when we speaking about truth, when we speaking about real shit, Farrakhan said something I've been saying that everybody made it seem like I made it up. Farrakhan said we live in a time where people, everybody got their own truth, individual truths. And individual truth is like the root of deception and the root of where deceit and lies live. And the reason being is that the individual truth doesn't hurt the individual, because that's what the individual truth could be, depending on the individual's ability to cope with their own environment or a coping mechanism. It might not even be completely right, right? But I be very straightforward and very direct when I be speaking about these things, because I'm not trying to attack. Like I was talking about one time where I was telling black women, right? Cause I know the conversations. I was telling black women that if they have fake nails, fake hair, all this, they got a spiritual problem. To me, that week, I was under attack, because like, even women I know personally that like genuinely love me, like was real with me, like, bro, your conversations, I love them, but boy, you be a little close to the line. But see, why is there a line? The only way to healthy get to this shit, ain't nobody gonna come up here from another culture, another religion, and sit here and talk about our relationships and all that. You know what I'm saying? And be honest and blunt about it. Like, shit, it's okay. I'm a man. I said it's okay for me to have an opinion and to feel how I feel. And my opinions ain't just something I made up. I got eyes. I walk around. You feel me? I got sisters. You feel me? I dated. I'm knowledgeable. I got common sense. You know what I'm saying? So I want people to know that it's not about it always being my way. When I'm really on people's heels, or it feel like I'm doing that, what I'm really trying to convey, whether if I do a good or poor job of, is saying that there's certain facts of history that or things that are truthful that have to be expressed in a certain way. Like if I'm live and I'm speaking about the history, like today on YouTube, right? If y'all see my YouTube that I did today, because I be posting it, I was talking about how the slave masters was eating their slaves. And I also touched on how most of the lakes in most towns in America, over 100 different lakes, and there's more than that, were black cities of indigenous areas that they turned into a lake after they killed everybody and ran them out. If I'm talking about this and somebody gets on my feed and they giving me history that they might have learned in school, or history that got some basis of narrative but not completely right, and they're pushing the issue, and let's say, you know what I'm saying, I go at that, because correction of what's true and what's not true is very important. What I was saying earlier, that we can't all have our own truth. If we all got our own truth, it's a million individual truths. The truth has to be singular, because it has to be monotheistic, right? It has to be a singular truth, because for everybody has to adapt. The truth hurt. We done got to a point where motherfuckers just want the world to be like the truth. The truth today, everybody want the truth to be in the form of a remedy. And I told people, like, one of the deepest statements I seen was like, a lot of people don't know the difference between a gift from God and a gift from that's not, or a good gift or a bad gift, should I say, right? Because often the gifts from nature or the gifts from God, they don't come with money, right? So since they don't come with money, we don't see those gifts, we don't see those things. So I never was on no shit like trying to attack the public or the people, but I definitely, as a thinker, and as a man and as a compassionate man, it's like my only goal is to help steer people, but especially like my people in a direction straighter than where they going. I look at my people as everybody going, individual truth, we all going in 1,000 different directions. I'm just trying to help us get straight. Now, I'm not here to tell you what to believe and what you do. That's not my job. But if we're going to talk, if you come to my platforms and we talking history, and the conversation is about the history of Christianity or the history of Islam, right? I'm not here to attack your religion, and I don't want to take it from you. That's why I make multiple conversations. If I felt like something came off wrong, I always came back the next day or the next morning and spoke about it and tried to recorrect what I felt like might not have been expressed properly. That's the best I can do. But I am unapologetic about the truth. You know what I'm saying? Even what we see with Kanye and them, they go about it. Kyrie, he stood on it. And, you know, he loved basketball. That's what he loves. So to us, we like, man, fuck that. Turn it down, nigga. You got money already, but you don't know what he been through. So he went that way. I speak from a perspective that is not going to be understood a lot of the time, because there's not a lot of black men who really know their history, compassionate, give a fuck about more than myself, and put people before myself, and at the same time care to value the woman so much that I'm not attacking y'all all these mornings. I have a lot of listeners, and then I know for a fact, like I had women come to me and say like, yo, I love your show, but you be da-da-da. It's like, yo, but how do we fix these problems if I'm not touching these issues? Love you too, man. How you doing? How do we fix these problems, y'all? So that's why I do, when I come on Facebook, I do one, and what I do on YouTube, but that's like, I'm really digging in on aspects. But one of the points of this conversation is saying that it's the aspect of me attacking the listener. I'm not. We have become accustomed to, because of social media, that we can sit on our phones and a motherfucker on the other side of the telephone can type the most disrespectful shit. And everybody gonna look at the person on the camera that's like, oh, who the fuck, like, what the fuck is you talking about? But, oh, bro, you got da-da-da, like, yo, we human, right? So you know, it just gotta be a balance. But if I'm bringing information that does not fit the suit of the average person, this is the issue. So during the conversation, if I'm talking about, if I'm dealing with people that love history, first of all, the first problem when you come and sit down with me is, at the end of the day, most of the people that, I ain't gonna say most, a good chunk of people, they might know me, or some people don't know me or come straggling because something they heard that they related to a day or so that I made alive. Once we hit them areas where you don't understand, or you ain't heard it, or it might not coincide with your belief, then this is where these things happen. We supposed to come in a class with it. We supposed to come to these conversations, not class, but these conversations with what? An empty cup. Now, people also say, well, bro, who bro think he is? Who the F he think he is? Da-da-da, to speak like that. I speak like that because I had authority to, by nature. And on the other side of that is that, like I told, this is my statement. What do we call, I'm a Pisces, what do we call two fish or more? A school. And where do you go to learn? And that's the reason why I speak the way I speak. Because sometimes everything ain't to be always understood naturally. I mean, for everybody, but it's for like minds. If I'm having a conversation about women and some women get offended because I'm being straight, remember, it doesn't make me wrong because society says don't ask a woman her age. So if I'm live and I be like, yo, how old is you? They'll say I'm rude. But according to nature and according to history, I just asked her age. So don't be mad at me because I don't live under the mindset or I haven't put a capstone on my thinking process for the time. We live in a time today where you better have some foundation. So nah, I don't be live, and I'm not one of them people that be worried about the likes and the love and all of that. Like, the truth tellers has very little friends. So when I be live and I be talking about these things, that's why I'm coming off this way. Now, have I came off wrong to people? Like, yeah, I have in the middle of argument. Like, compassion can come off wrong, but it also can be wrong. So I definitely take accountability for those things. But attacking people, no. Lack of understanding on both ends sometimes on what they trying to convey to me when I see the message, or from what I'm saying to people, is always going to be the confusion. The better I get in communication and just understanding, because we got to remember, this Facebook shit, like, it was no blueprint. We come up here and we speak, but we not prepared. So let me go back, because I can name the incidences. Black woman, fake nails, fake hair, all this. That day I got attacked so much on live because I felt like very few women actually gave me a clear mind. And because I wasn't trying to attack, I just was straight with the conversation. I didn't come in and say, you know, I want to talk to my sisters today in respect and let's da-da-da. I just came the straight approach because, you know, brown look ain't for everybody, but it's straight. You know what I'm saying? And my straight approach was saying, at the end of the day, when I went to the store, I look at the 50, 60-year-olds, the 30-year-olds, the 20-year-olds, and the 12-year-olds, all of them women, they got down to the same outfits, the same clothes. And it get to the point where it's kind of sick. When I talk about the body grows hair naturally, if you take care of yourself and learn how to nurture the body and take care of it, it will grow, right? But we've got accustomed to, see, this is why America has thrived, but also is failing, capitalism. They made a culture off of making money off of people lazy habits, right? Oh, you don't want to cook. You look, hey, they own land, man, they don't want that land. Hey, we gonna sell your grocery store, so now we gonna cut the meat up for you, and we gonna sell it to you. Oh, you don't want to cook? Oh, we got restaurants. You know what I'm saying? America became the shortcut, but if the whole society is a shortcut, it don't mean nothing. So speak your opinion, son. As black people, they want us to keep quiet. Love you, going to help your nephew with his homework. Tell him I love him too. And that's why I'm saying, like my homeboy Rick said this morning, they want us to just deal with it and get over it. But it is very important that what Kanye was saying about people need to forgive what the Germans did to them. Because how can we say that anybody's a people of God that doesn't understand forgiveness, and that's the #1 story of Christianity, or as they say, Judaism and stuff like that. Forgiveness, right? So when I say a lot, like, y'all don't understand the wars I fight just to go live. Y'all ain't seen me in a month and a half because they wouldn't let me. The day before they banned Kyrie, I made a statement. Somebody made a post about the music ain't the issue. The music ain't the issue while the kids dying. And I was like, and I wrote up there like, yo, you know, I had quoted Hitler. I quoted, and it was some very genius. If you want to know the future of a youth, listen to the music. If you want to know the future of a society, listen to the music of its youth. That's the future. And they banned me. And they what they did was, I had typed it, so somebody reported it, and they blocked me in like 12 different ways, Instagram, Facebook, because they own each other. And from that point on, I kind of switched over to YouTube. But at the same time, like, yo, I do this shit, like, I think people get more caught up on what people feel like my approach is instead of really getting the information and the message of what I'm trying to convey. I ain't seen too many people sit up here on no lives and go through over 30, 40 civilizations last year and using not just what we call black man knowledge, but using the documentaries coming from all over the world, BBC, London, all the documentaries, and showing you proof that these people, the whole documentary show you these light-skinned people that look like they live there now, but when they show you on the wall, they look like people that live in Philly and New Jersey. And in some places like people that live in North Carolina and South Carolina. So it's more important about what I'm giving. The way when I'm going about it at the end of the day is I'm speaking about righteous minds. I didn't know that when I went live about the conversation about women, fake nails, fake hair. I thought that women would appreciate the fact that there was still some man or people who care about to educate them or their daughter, because there was a time where even if you live wrong or don't got it, you wanted your kids to have it the right way. You want them to be prosperous. But our kids can't be prosperous with bullshit. So I wasn't trying to attack black women. Black women took it as I was trying to attack them for their fake nails, fake hair, fake weed, but that's not your culture. It's not you. You don't have to have it. Other cultures wore that shit to imitate and mimic you at one time. But the whole time I'm watching black girls hair straight and straight and doing all this shit that look like white girls, and white girls looking more like black women. It's real. But women and a lot of people felt like I was attacking them, or they felt like I was attacking their wives or their girlfriends, and I wasn't. But I wanted to make it clear at the end of the day is that fake hair is an issue. We can pacify it, we can lie about it, we can make it seem like I'm tripping because I'm the only one speaking about it. That shit an issue. If as a man, if I grow up and I have 10 daughters, I would really want my daughters to love what's theirs and nurture it and get it. Okay, your hair ain't growing right now. All right, then we need to figure this out. So now you got to use your brain and figure out what's wrong with you, or what's going on, or what's imbalanced in your hair, and what do you need to do to get your body back on that aspect. Right? Because that's health. Putting something on top of it, you know what I'm saying, covering up what's messed up, the same sicknesses that's present is still present underneath all of that shit. So I said it was a spiritual problem. I didn't say that women were stupid or dumb or less than, but at the same time, like, that's what I was saying the other day when I was on YouTube. We got all these shows where all these black women got power, but they're so they're in power positions, but they're just sexual. You know what I'm saying? Sleep with this nigga, go back to work. Sleep with this man, go back to work. But as long as they professional, it's more to life than that. You know what I'm saying? It's way more to life than that, and I think that's the key to this. So that's why I say I never get too mad. I never get too wavered about it, but people have to be accountable because people don't give a fuck no more, and people are not caring to learn anymore. People ain't trying. Niggas, I challenge people because people be saying shit that ain't even trying. Not that I'm being rude. Motherfuckers get up, live the worst type of life, go out here. They might do certain things, but live the worst type of life. Play for self, this, and that. You know what I'm saying? Selfish-minded individual, very closed-minded. So I know when I'm in a room full of people that's open-minded and when I'm not. And I think that we got to be fair about the situation, is that not about me just trying to attack nobody, but our people are sensitive, and our people don't really understand when somebody tell them the truth or be straight with them. That's why they call us children, because as adults, we still act and respond as if we're children. You feel me? And that's a very, very big problem. Now, growth for me, approach, growing, learning, it's a trial and error thing. So I always try to get better. And also try to speak in a certain way, but at the same time, you know, like I tell anybody, it ain't my job to constantly switch up what I'm doing to please the public, because I'm just here to offer information and to do certain things. That's it. I'm just here to give information, not to tell you what to believe, not to disrespect your God. I thought that we were supposed to be knowledgeable. You know, all these books say, you know thyself, search all corners of the earth for information. So when I'm giving motherfuckers knowledge of self, you know what I mean? People don't understand it. Another thing, when I was talking about like books and shit, what up, B? Islamo. So when I be talking like books, a lot of people say, man, you can't read them books. So what you read them books? It's just man wrote them books and all that. And I say, nah, I agree. But you got to understand as people that's intellectuals, we got to come back to black people with, if we come back and say, yo, this is what we learned. Who you learning from? Oh, black man, the teacher. We gonna be like, man, get that shit out of here. But if we got to go, I got to go get them books written by them Europeans and them Jewish people who family members of them and who wrote because they was honest heart people and they came back and they told us what was really going on at the time. So when we read history, they be like, just because you read it don't mean it's true. No, it don't, bro. But if you understand information and you intellectual, then you understand that there was a war going on between two villages or two nations. There's other nations and villages living around who writing down, who telling what happened. So you take all of their stories and reference it. You'll see the truth there. Right? We have to be more accustomed to people speaking up and telling the truth. It's hard. Like, how do I come to the public and be so worried about their feelings when I'm trying to tell my people that we came from this land that we on? Right? That's the confusion. If I tell you anything, if we talking about anything, if I'm live and y'all see me, I would only hope for people to have an empty cup of water. Not to come there and let me fill up your cup of water with my thoughts or what I think. I'm telling you the information that intrigued me, the things I read. Your job was to get the research. My issue with people was when you come on a live and you argue me and try to debate me, you could debate me, but that's not how you prove me wrong. You got to first go do the research. If I say something to y'all on live that don't kind of sit with you right or don't go that don't go with your programming or what you was taught, then you're going to look at me sideways because that's what the programming did. I could come to you and tell you the truth about your body and how I can help you live until you're 150. But since all of us think that we see everybody dying at 40 and 50 years old, 60 years old, motherfuckers ain't gonna listen. They gonna think, man, that nigga just a voodoo doctor or some shit. The nigga Dr. Savvy, I want y'all to understand, nigga Dr. Savvy, these motherfuckers was curing this shit. Literally, really doing this shit. And motherfuckers still, I see black people online and people talking all the day like Vlad and them say like so-called, like it happened. So my job as when I'm on live as the teacher or as the person bringing the information is not to be worried about what everybody said. I'm a father. So I'm going to deal with the audience the same way I'm going to deal with my children or the people I talk to, or not in a disrespectful way, or my peers. Meaning that I'm going to speak in a certain manner because of the importance of history and how we are looking over this shit. I see when people thought I was attacking people, I be talking history and somebody say something that offend me because the statement let me know how much you disrespect yourself and your ancestors. The statement that you wrote, like I be noticing how niggas feel on the inside and what you think about us. We be saying shit about, oh, yo, them motherfuckers was heathens. And I be like, yo, you know they look just like you? But when your mindset has taught you from TV that they were this color, or that that's what they look like, you don't know the reality, right? I'm trying to, like I said, I'm only trying to steer people in a forward direction. But they say care about Cardi B, but they did anything for them, bet this comment anger some, right? People, but that's true. Put it like this, people, we all love our music and shit and things we do, but people will, right now in culture, I'm talking about women with fake nails, fake hair, I'm talking about fake nails, fake hair, fake nails, got an attitude with me. Motherfuckers got an attitude. Can y'all hear me? I know my car just kind of went in and on. Let me know, can y'all hear me before I go forward? If y'all can hear me, let me know. Cause I know my car be tripping. Okay. Nah, so with Cardi B, when I was having these conversations, I'm having these deep ass conversations the last 2-3 years about that. My point was I'm not trying to attack a woman. I'm trying to be able to show her, first of all, I'm a man. So I would think that y'all would, a man with a good mindset. Cause I thought the goal was, I know as a man, I want a good woman. I don't want a Cardi B. I want a, you know what I'm saying? I'm married, I got a wife. So I want a wife, a wholesome woman, a good woman with good character. When I speak to her, she doing more than just rolling her eyes, smacking her lips. Her day is this more than Megan Thee Stallion and Cardi B. Look, I know it's entertainment, so I know what you listen to don't technically define who you are, but if you listen to it on a regular, it definitely does define like a part of you, right? It don't define you, but it's, some people can have entertainment and go about their life. But there's a lot of people and women that listen to Cardi B and these Megan Thee Stallions, but they're living like this. You know what I mean? What is wrong with me as a man getting so mad at me seeing I'm talking about fake nails and motherfuckers is on my feed and women saying, oh, well, you know, who are you? You have no right to talk about this. And who the fuck are you? You only date white women and da-da-da-da and all this other shit. Like, yo, for real. I'm a real person. You know what I'm saying? I ain't one of them niggas sitting up there on damn CNN or Fox. So when I see this, so that means I'm seeing the ignorance and the disrespect of self. When I'm having a conversation, in my mind, when I thought of the conversation, I was like, yo, this shit gonna be brilliant. Like, I'm gonna keep it funky. I'm gonna walk y'all through it. Like the day before, I was thinking like, yo, I'm gonna have a conversation about women with fake nails, fake hair, da-da-da. Because in my mind, I'm thinking about maybe inspiring women to be more natural. You feel me? See, I know because I grew up around all these women, and I know how insecure brown-skinned women really are. Women in general, but especially brown-skinned women. And they could be, and all women of all shades are beautiful, but a lot of dark-skinned girls are beautiful but are insecure, so they live life a certain way. You know what I'm saying? Like, really insecure. So I'm thinking that the women gonna love it, and like, I'm thinking that I live in a world where women still respect a man that come to them straight. Like, look, man, that fake ass hair need to do away with it. Y'all don't look good and sexy. I mean, the way they lacing them wigs up, it look good or so. But at the end of the night, if I take that wig roll off, or if I roll over and look at you and you don't really look like that, then what? I gotta wait for you to doll yourself up 3 hours to get turned on? You know what I'm saying? So that's the issue. At the same time, the makeup messing your skin up in your face. Most people with makeup got craters in their face, black spots. You know what I'm saying? This stuff is destroying you. The hair, your head, your antennas, the importance of your hair, all of this stuff is destroying you. Fake nails, your fingernails is where doctors who understand the body can look at your nails and look at your hands and your palms and your feet and tell what's wrong with you. So you're covering up the things. All of these things have a function for a reason. But you covering up your insecurity, whether it's your hair, your fingernails, or whatever. So I didn't think that a conversation was going to make so many women mad at the time that they was going to get so mad at me that I watched, like, numbers drop. So then I asked myself one day, I said, damn, I could tell black women ain't really had no fathers as a mass. Because I've been pushing this issue about, there's a difference between a girl that grows up in a house with her father and her mom, who dad is a real, like, manly type man. He can be sensitive and sweet and still, but manly and stand on his shit. Got old school principle. And mom is womanly. She can still go get a stride, got an independent move, but at the same time, like, got her own opinions, but at the same time really love her husband, just like her boyfriend, vice versa. Different than two people, you live in a house with somebody, he not your daddy, or they is your daddy, but they really ain't communicating, he cheating, they cheating. All this shit make a difference. Black women need to know the truth. Just like on the aspect of a man, there's a difference between that black girl that grew up in a household with a man and a woman that might have their issues, but they really love each other and they go back and forth, but they get to see it, right? Maybe not all they saying good for them, but they get to see this shit. So when they get older and they get a man and they man get frustrated, they not gonna sit there and say, what? Because see, a lot of times we've all been taught by women in our society, right? You know, there should be more education, and don't put your hands on a woman, because we shouldn't put our hand on a woman. But at the same time, there should be more education, because putting our hands on a woman is a huge problem, but it's not the single only problem. There's an escalation that builds up where this person is super wrong, but what about things that for some cases where it could be, you know what I'm saying, because of the foul things being said, in some cases it's not. So I'm not speaking, don't take me out of context. But a girl that grows up in a household with a father is going to look at shit differently. When she get older and have a man and they disagree, she's going to have reverence of her father. She going to know her father raised his voice. She not going to look at him as this TV nigga that they watching every day. There's a difference in this shit. There's a huge difference in what we talking about in that. So my only point is saying that, like, you know, I don't apologize. Another thing is that I be on here and I chop it up on Facebook, but Facebook has become such a vehicle for people. It's more about joking and shit. Perms fuck up hand cause cancer. But I'm gonna be me though. You know what I'm saying? I tell people all the time, like, yo, when we on Facebook, it's a choice. We tap in, we scroll. You know what I mean? That's what make me me. The reason why people tapped in and watched all them lives of different points of view was not that you had to agree with me, was just that motherfuckers tapped in with me because they felt like, rather if it was certain combos they seen and felt like they can fuck with it. When we had them conversations that niggas ain't really privy to, that's niggas. You know what I'm saying? I've been outside. I know what it's like when you bring some shit to niggas outside on the block on some shit that they ain't really on. They can kind of be like, ah. But it don't mean that it ain't right or it's wrong. It's just the wrong environment. So later on, a lot of niggas I used to be talking this shit to, as they got older, come back and be like, bro, you was right. So my point to the public is to say to y'all that I've been cussed out. They told me, I had a conversation about black women need to stop babying their sons and need to be straight with them. I don't care if your baby father or your husband used to beat you and do all this shit. Like, meaning not that I don't care, saying that's not an excuse for you to just sit back and be like, oh, you baby your son, but you got a daughter and your son hitting your daughter with toys in the face or whatever. So I'm telling you to stop babying them. I'm having a conversation with women online that they daddies and they brothers should have, but these niggas out here doing their own thing, fucking women doing what they want and not having these conversations. But motherfuckers be online mad at me for having a conversation. But I don't see nobody else in America getting them having these fucking conversations. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's why I say at the end of the day, sometimes that's why it weighed at one point. You know what I mean? The conversations are necessary for the time we live in today. Right? But our people are scared of these conversations. You know what I mean? So I learned a lot. So it's fucked up to say, but it was like, if I have a conversation that's the most spiritual conversation that can help women or men see themselves better or da-da-da, it's going to take self-accountability. A woman got to be able, y'all got to be able to look at yourself and be like, you know what? I'm putting all this fake shit in my head. This shit out of control. When y'all going to be real with y'all motherfucking self and be like, yo, I'm insecure about my fucking hair. And bro, like, you feel me? You ain't got to tell me I ain't in your living room. Nigga, I'm on the fucking phone. But people be so offended, but everybody quick to get offended with me and tell me I'm too aggressive, but ain't nobody saying nothing to their daughters and these little kids out here putting that fake shit in their head. Spend your energy on that type shit. You know what I'm saying? The issue is that we can't speak about it, and then being a man speaking about it, it's like, who the fuck are you? But last time I thought nature's order was father-daughter, mother-son. So by nature, as a man who's in tune with himself, I have a right to speak on what I think should be righteous and right for women in my culture. Because people don't get me, I understand it. But the only way to know what a good woman is by sitting down with good men. Or men with good minds that have an idea. Like right? But at the same time, meaning that from experience, not just because, oh, we get to pick them, but from what we understand. Because a good woman could be a good woman to a woman, but she still has to fit the other side of the circle, right? 180 degrees of women, 180 degrees of man. She's still to be a good woman to a man. Just like as men, we can be like, yo, my nigga, that's a good nigga. But he might be, compared to all of us, he a solid dude. But to good women, he might just be an average nigga. He got good capabilities, but he ain't, you know what I'm saying? So that's what I was saying. It really shocked me last year to really realize that when I had them conversations about how offended black women got, because I realized, like, yo, it's true. Where's the accountability on self? Just like when we talk about black men, like, we hear people all the time say, yo, show me a black man that got his own shit, I'll wait. You know what I'm saying? But if I go live and say, well, show me the chart of how many black women got on is financially stable without WIC food stamps or any help from the government in the projects, you know what I'm saying, in the public housing systems, and no programs. See, it's easy. See, people don't understand. It's easy to look at me and say, what bro talking about, but you don't understand today. I'm playing this with this chess. So when we're in the middle of all of this, I'm a man. Just like how women watch y'all women. Y'all, I recognize that as women, y'all love black men to some extent, but y'all integrity as women are more important as a whole than y'all. Y'all integrity as a women is important to y'all. Right? More important than y'all integrity as a family, right? Because that's why I say the logic fucked up. Just ain't nobody gonna talk about this shit. Privacy. Once we started telling women privacy, and everybody gonna say, nah, privacy about our relationship and love, I respect that. Privacy. How does a person get in a relationship? I keep asking this question. How can you get any type of relationship? Women, answer, and I'm asking y'all, how do y'all get in relationships and then start talking about privacy? And then say, well, when a nigga marry me, then he can go through my phones and shit. But if I can't trust you, and you feel me? It ain't just about going through your shit, but if I can't trust you, it's coming off to us as if you got some shit to hide. So you want us to let you do you, and then we get married to you. We gotta hope that you put all your play buddies in the closet or something. Men, listen, we all aware that y'all got 3-4 niggas. When I see a lot of like, girl, I seen a post that said, girl, you know, if you got a nigga, he got you, he got a side girl, he got, at least, I seen a couple posts that it ain't a man out here who ain't got 3 women. Bullshit. I don't. This real shit. Ain't a man out here that ain't got 3 women. Right? And I'm thinking like, yo, As if men had a power. Like, nigga, we ask as men, we gotta say, hey, we gotta entertain, do all this to get some. Y'all got the door openers. You know what I'm saying? So, power. I was sitting there having a conversation with my mom and my sisters on Thanksgiving. And I noticed that every time I have a conversation with a group of women, I tell them that, I say, in the middle of us having our debates, I say, y'all have power. And all black women, they look at me in the middle of the conversation, in the middle of the argument, and be like, yo, no, I don't. So that's the first issue. That black woman has all the power right now, but still feel like she doesn't have it. And she does. The world is at your fingertips, at your feet. Everything I come to you from is just not just from what I think, for the record. I come up here from shit I'm reading, watching, learning, being around, sociable. You know what I'm saying? We have to be better at these things. Kevin Samuels is a perfect opinion. The perfect example. Kevin Samuels said a lot of shit that was like real shit. But guess why women were offended? Because of the things he said around the real shit. See, it's like, as men, we know we get in an argument with our women, our wives, our girlfriends. We can say, if we say 100 words or 100 sentences, 75% of them sentences can be accurate. But the tone of voice or the frustration. Now, but we ain't gonna talk about how many times we had this conversation or tried to express it. But the tone of voice and all of the other things around the solid, the shell, just the outer shell of what we saying is ignored and thrown in the trash because of that small part of the outer shell that can't be digested. Some of this shit has to be accountable. Right? That's why I've been asking. Do you want me to do black women, do you want us as men publicly in the world arena? Do you want us to respect you as our wives or queens? Or do you want us to respect you as our daughters? Because I don't mind having certain conversations with my daughter on a certain level. But even with my daughter, it's a certain level of things. Let me read what it say. He said, privacy is now sneaky like how you want me to tell the world our business as if they care. Real though. And I'm saying this because I think it's hurting like men. It's men that's doing it, but let's just put it in general terms. Privacy. Once we say we in a relationship, we already done crossed thresholds of damn near of a marriage. Because we need to stop acting like our relationships ain't marriage. Like we sex, staying together, cohabitating, raising kids, having children, surviving. That's marriage by definition. So I get you become my woman, we got kids, but it's like, what is this privacy if I can't trust you? That's what this shit about. And then on top of that, we listen to y'all rap music. Y'all rap music way more ratchet than ours. Our shit, I don't know if I say, when I say ratchet, not more killing, more ratchet. If my daughter loves City Girls, I would really, 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 really sit down and talk to her every day. Because I need to know that you understand that this right here is some bullshit that they ain't even writing, most of them. They got some niggas back there writing for these girls, most of them. Lil Yachty. Feel me? But women believe it. I seen the culture change from basketball wives loving hip hop and now everybody act like that shit. Wigs, color, like we go outside and we see these colors, blue, orange, yellow, green. I'm like, where the fuck is you from, nigga? My question is to women, do we live in Dr. Seuss? So don't get me wrong, I don't care how beautiful that shit is. It get to a point where it's like, at least die your shit. And this is the crazy part. In my deepest conversations, women that be knowing me, that love me, have called me like, I know you and shit. I'm like, yeah. And they be like, I know you, so I know you got a good heart. And I know you knowledgeable, and I know you, so I know everything you speaking from come from a good place. But you wasn't bashing today? And I be like, oh. But those are those conversations. As a man, why can't I say it? I can't ask you your age? That's stupid. Let's put it in proper context. Little kids ask their mama how old they is. Little boys, mama, how old you is? I be like, yes, how old are you? And I'm rude. Says who? I don't gotta live by the rules of the captivity and slavery that they put up under us to stop us from being able to grow. You know what I'm saying? Reason why marriages ain't working because ain't nobody real. You know what I'm saying? It's compromise. I was on the same conversation. I was telling black women relationships about compromise. And I had hundreds of comments. Compromise for what? For what? Think about that shit. Think about every man that watch my page, and y'all don't know. See, women, y'all watch my page, y'all be surprised. If y'all be, watch this shit with y'all boyfriends, y'all husband. Them niggas be in the background, probably rolling up like, man, this nigga keeping it funky. We got better shit to do to just sit around and cater. Our job was not to be catering and shit coating to y'all. Our job was supposed to be out here trying to get this shit back. But at the end of the day, it's like, yo, we supposed to be trying to get free from colonization. But every morning I see you dress up like the colonizer. You feel me? Fuck is wrong with you? Fuck is wrong with you? My boy Spence. Nah, but for real though, you know what I'm saying? Like, but it is sad though. It is sad that we can't have them conversations. You know what I'm saying? It's nothing wrong with it. See, I noticed too, it's a lot of shit that I start doing online 5-6 years ago, and then I see this shit happens. See, at the time when I was starting these convos years and years ago, I would come up there and have them and talk conversation. Facebook was still changing and maturing. There weren't no YouTube videos. There weren't no YouTube videos where people were sitting right there and you could see them, and they was watching the video and break it down to you. That wasn't something I seen and took. It was something that I just had an idea, so I would talk about it and I would show my screen. And I would hold my phone. I got something to hold my phone. You know what I'm saying? These are all organic ideas that later on became other things. But attacking people, no. Not having to be like, my personal opinion, the problem with our people is that we want everything told to us in a sensitive manner, something soft, like don't, say it this way, say it that way, say it this way, say it that way. But who the fuck is saying it that way for us? When our mothers and our sisters and our girlfriends and our wives speak to us, they don't speak to us in that manner. And last time I checked, it was supposed to be treat others as you want to be treated. We aware that we second-class citizens to black women. You feel me? Everybody with power take advantage of it. You got power. So like I said earlier, I tell black women you got power. But every time, if I talk to them longer than a couple weeks or hearing their conversations, when they get there, women don't feel like they got power. They don't see the power they have. They don't see that they got so much power. If they all stop buying certain shit, they'll stop selling certain shit and stuff. If all black women just start buying all natural stuff, because for like 2-3 years ago, people started going natural right before the pandemic. And then when women started going natural, it was like a little thing 3-4 years ago. All of the products changed. So what did? They brought out Megan Thee Stallion and Cardi B. And when I see you, I see a strip of the girls on the video. You look like the girl on the video. She twerking, she shaking that ass, right? And I'm supposed to look at you like I look at in my mind as I see like my wife. Like this some crazy shit. So, you know what I'm saying? I think that relationships, and ain't nobody speaking, and as a man, I'm saying like, to me, it's a lot of unrighteous female shit going on. A lot of good women got a lot of unrighteous ass habits. Right? And then, right? Because the girls that are somewhat good, they have accepted the bullshit. It's how I am. You know what I'm saying? If you rather have one night stands with this nigga, and focus on your career, do that. You know what I mean? But it is what it is. That's why I always say, I'm going to speak how I speak and stay on these topics. And hopefully people can respect it. So, never to offend people, but at the same time, it's like, I'm unapologetic because I actually spend the time and I give a fuck. These conversations were not made out of ill intent. These conversations were not made to be disrespectful. These conversations were not made to degrade the black woman. These conversations were not made to look down on black people. None of that. It was made to have conversation. Like, if I have a conversation and it make you mad, then maybe something ain't right. And maybe you should investigate yourself. Right? You can lash out on me, but it still ain't gonna fix the internal problem. BH.